I told you guys yesterday to set your expectations low, but that might even been lower. Hey, some pretty big plays. Here with the highlights from Monday Night Football.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, all lit up on a Monday night. They love their Steelers. And at the end of week number 8, after a thrilling Sunday yesterday, it's the New York.
They'll hold up against this improved running game over the last couple of weeks. Early indications are they are not. Right into the game plan that Daboll's hoping for.
Extra men on the rush. Jones able to unload for Slayton. And he's got it down inside.
They're trying to knock the ball out. Sometimes at the expense of making a tackle. We talk about it, Joe. It's who's able to come away with touchdowns. There's 2 good drives by the Steelers, but having to settle for field goals. Who was out there at wide receiver. If they viewed him as moving, then they got to come to a stop. Otherwise, Neighbors never had to stop.
Out of the shotgun, Wilson lets it fly. Passes caught by Pickens. Touchdown Steelers.
It's a tough catch for George Pickens. See strong hands as Deontay.
7-yard try by Boswell. And each kicker is 3 for 3. Flag is down. Return by Austin. Plenty of room. Great return. Still rolling. Flag is down.
Back just ever so slightly.
They're down at 11. Wilson lets it fly. Downfield for Jefferson. And the catch. Extra men on the rush. Floated. Downfield and caught. Touchdown Austin.
Every year, every week.
Here is Tracy. Tyrone Tracy turns on the Jets. And he is in for the touchdown. Here is a throw to Neighbors, and Highsmith came right through that play. 1 touchdown from their offense, 1 touchdown from their special teams. Here's one aired out. Pickens! What a grab, and out of bounds inside the 10. 27-yarder through. Pressure off the edges, 8-yard try by Joseph. 7. Wilson in trouble, able to break loose. Ball comes out, Giants ball. Pressure off the edge, Watt returns the favor. Pressure, passes high, and intercepted by Beanie Bishop.
And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun of course. Please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the Week 8 Monday Night Football recap, where, of course, we saw the Pittsburgh Steelers, I guess, hang on in a way, or just find a way to get it done in another ugly game. And that way, obviously, moving to 6-2 before their bye week, of course. Final score was 26-18. It was a lot uglier than that, but obviously, they get the W. 3rd straight win, of course, going into their bye week. They got a pretty big game against Commanders off of it, but again, a big win for them here. Of course, now sitting at 6-2. Their best record since, of course, they started 11-0 back in 2020. The Giants, on the other hand, are now followed 2-6. They have lost 3 in a row. They are not on their bye week. They actually get the Commanders this week at home, so I mean, I guess that's something, even though their offense has been terrible at home. They didn't play too bad in this one overall, but again, considering, again, like how it ended and everything, it kind of sucked, so yeah. Either way, though, Daniel Jones was not great, 24 of 38, 264, an interception. He was actually pretty accurate downfield. He got some really good opportunities, especially with the middle of the field. Pretty open overall. He read it really well, made some big throws. Also, though, again, the interception was atrocious in the last drive. He was bad under pressure, as most quarterbacks are, but like really bad in this one. As well as not really being able to navigate the pocket too well. When that does happen, it's kind of hard for, again, your offense to really be able to get in any sort of consistent rhythm. So, again, with that said, Daniel Jones, again, just not really great in this one. But, again, there were some good spots. Tyrone Tracy Jr. at 145 yards and a touchdown. He is definitely the number 1 back. Devin Singletary only got 2 carries for a reason. Of course, he had a 45-yard touchdown as well as some other big, nice runs. He just has a lot of juice. And, hell, he might be the back for a while. But, again, he was great in this one. Obviously, Darius Slayton had that big catch to begin the game. Also was okay, I guess. Malik Neighbors, again, kind of got doubled a lot. A little bit of a frustrating game for him. But, again, it was definitely a bounce back from what we saw last week, which was, of course, absolutely nothing. Theo Johnson had a big catch in that final drive. Outside that, though, was actually a decent block for this team, which, again, you wouldn't have thought of. Wano Robinson, obviously, was pretty good in the slot. Outside of that, though, I didn't really see too much from anyone else. I mean, Eric Gray, Tyrone Tracy Jr., Devin Singletary, targets in some capacity. With that said, though, this O-line kind of struggled at some points as we expected them to, but again, they were a lot better than actually that they would have, considering how, again, low their expectations are. For this Giants defense, Bobby Okereke led them with 14 tackles, also half a sack. He was their key cog against the run. Very good at filling the gaps, also making a lot of big tackles. Andrew Phillips, 7 tackles as well. He was okay in coverage. I just think, again, he was, again, a really big physical, in terms of physicality and, like, setting that tone for them. Did a really good job with that in the first quarter. Then McLeod, yeah, he gave a couple big plays, but outside of that, I think he definitely did a decent job. Again, those big plays did hurt them in some ways, but overall, it was pretty good. Jason Pinnock is, again, proving he could be a starting caliber player. Could be, that's the key there, because, again, he's been all over the place so far this year in terms of, again, the performance. Azeez Ojulari had 7 tackles, 2 sacks. Again, I'd like to mention that he has gone crazy this year. He has 6 sacks already. Of course, very high hopes after a 2021 season where he had 8 sacks. I think he had like 30-something pressures. He was really... No, I mean, this isn't right. But he had a very, very good rookie season. 2022 got injured, but he still was like electric in the games he played. Last year, kind of just didn't really do anything. I'm just going to put it as it is. And again, a big year for him. He has really showed up so far, so good for him. He's so talented. Very hot right now as well. Brian Burns had a sack, again, the big guy they needed there. I honestly think Azeez Ojulari, you could argue, is better than Kayvon Thibodeaux. Again, you could say, oh, the draft pick, but trust me, guys, Azeez Ojulari, he's actually on, you could argue even more, like, again, like dynamic as a pass rusher, just considering some of the moves he has, and also just the explosiveness that, again, I think Kayvon Thibodeaux, yes, his first step is better than almost anyone in that draft class back in 2022, but when it comes down to it, Azeez Ojulari just seems like, again, he's a better player right now, and you got, again, even though, again, Kayvon Thibodeaux's on IR, again, you got to give him those reps. Even when he comes back. Tyler Newman had 4 tackles. He was pretty good. Outside of that, though, biggest thing I think I'd like to talk about is Deonte Banks, who was burnt toast in this one. He really, of course, he gave up the touchdown last week, 41-yarder to A.J. Brown. He's really struggled the past couple weeks. Again, they didn't bench him, but I think that would be a good idea because considering, again, he just is like in a really big rut right now. And it seems, especially in zone coverage, he just really isn't any sort of, doesn't have any confidence or really like awareness of what's going on. And when that happens, it's just not good for the football team. It's not good for him. I think he definitely needs to take a step back and again evaluate what he needs to do. Isaiah Simmons wasn't great either, but again, whatever. Greg Joseph obviously has 4 field goals. For the Steelers, Russ obviously took a while to get started. Of course, had a bad fumble on the one of the drives to end the game, but he still won 20 of 28 for 278 and a touchdown. Again, the deep passing game with him and Justin Fields is just night and day. It's crazy. Najee also great, 19 for 114, also 6 yards per carry. Jalen Warren was also good. They ran the ball down this Giants defense throat. Again, the reason I say that Bible Carrick was the key cog was because, again, they could have scored like 3 touchdowns. It wasn't for him. When it comes down to the receiving, though, I guess George Pickens, of course, had like a 50-yard catch, I think, something like that. It was good, though. Van Jefferson, obviously, the huge third-down conversion there in the third quarter. Calvin Austin had a touchdown as well as a punt return touchdown. Obviously, Darnell Washington had a big catch to begin this game. But overall, not too much consistency with the receivers. Again, I'd like to see George Pickens get open a little bit better, but still, again, some big deep balls from Russ really helped this offense get jump-started as well as a very dominant run game. Really props to that O-line because they really penetrated up front. Defensively, T.J. Watt had 7 tackles, 2 sacks, a fumble recovery, and a fumble forced. Probably going to be Defensive Player of the Week. Deshaun Elliott was also good with 7 tackles. I will say Minka Fitzpatrick was a little bit all over the place in coverage. He almost gave up a touchdown on one of them, but it still wasn't too bad. Beanie Bishop Jr., again, great name, had a pick. Again, the game-stealing pick for a second straight game with an interception as well as 5 tackles. With that said, though, again, that's really all I got for this Steelers defense. It's kind of self-explanatory for you guys there. Chris Boswell also had 4 field goals, only 31 was his longest. That was really the big issue I had with the Steelers. They had 425 yards of offense, and they still didn't get too many touchdowns. Again, I think if they were better in the red zone, they would have been a lot better off. 6 of 13 on third down, 5-15, I think was actually a pretty big difference. Again, 2 bad turnovers by the Giants in those last couple drives really killed them as well. Again, I think both these teams played I don't say good football, but again, overall tough football, and they persevered. The Steelers were just I think a little bit more physical, as well as the fact that, again, they just didn't really choke it away at the end. But that's really all I got for you guys here. Again, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed Monday Night Football. It wasn't great, but of course, I'll see you for the Power Rankings tomorrow, and then obviously we got Halloween Thursday Night Football. That'll be fun. But until then, enjoy your night, and yeah, see you for the Power Rankings tomorrow. Of course, kicking off Week 9.
His record. Schmidt to Freeman. It is a fastball. It's ripped down the line. It is gone. A 5th consecutive World Series game.